You know why people are distracted by this vaccine? Congress just popped this hip hop legislation, and according to CNN, this is a symbolic gesture that does not improve black lives. You know, there's something wrong with this. First of all, we don't need no more gestures. We want what's owed to us. But as far as I'm concerned, that's never going to happen, especially in this country. Our best chance for ever getting any type of reparations is just for us to move to the motherland, Africa, where we can rebuild with our brothers and sisters there. Because these white people ain't gonna do shit. And personally, I'm tired of seeing black us begging them for reparations. These motherfuckers know what's owed to us. Why you think they keep putting out these gestures? I mean, the real slap in the face was that Juneteenth. Because we are still slaves, whether we want to accept that truth or not. And this hip hop legislation is just a bunch of bullshit. What happened, when they gave the $50 million to these fucking Asians, along with protection? Where was the protection for our brothers and sisters? Where was the money for that? It's not even about cutting the check. It's the principle. You do all this other shit for these other races of people who really, in truth, has not done shit, and riding off the backs of black us, who fought and died for civil rights. All these fucking cultures is riding off of us. We the ones who made it possible for them to get to where they at, and yet we getting stepped on. I mean, come on, my brothers and sisters. Aren't you tired of getting stepped on by everybody? We are at the forefront of everything. Everybody's riding off our backs. You got Chinatowns, you got like what's it, Mexican town, you got all these different towns. What happened to African town? Now I know we share some responsibility because some of us are irresponsible with money. We would rather sit up here and buy Jordans and necklaces and all kinds of bullshit we don't need. Most of us are materialistic people. We want to act like we individuals. And that's what's keeping us separated, because this individualism mindset. Now, I didn't mean to get off topic, but I felt that was relevant, especially with this hip hop legislation bullshit that Congress is trying to pass, if it hasn't already passed. And I remind you, this is all happening during this so-called pandemic to keep us distracted. Always pay attention to what the enemies is doing behind the scenes. And then it's unfortunate you got many black puppets within Congress who are going to unanimously go against this, like your Maxine Waters and all them. You know what I'm saying? I never trusted Maxine Waters. At a point in time, I used to think she was the shit until I understood she's been in there 4 decades and haven't done shit. There's like many other black politicians. They no different than their white counterparts. They just black faces, no more than puppets, trying to soothe the masses of black people who understand what is right and what's happening to us is wrong. That's why personally I don't believe in voting. I'm not finna vote for no fucking oppressors. And here they go with this race being deconstructed. How much more fucking deconstruction do we need? It's black versus white. Period. That's the only thing you need to know. White privilege exists here in America as well as around the world. When they always want to talk about some bullshit. As long as these white people are on top, they will talk about anything. As long as they're in control. As long as there's no talk about threatening their power and authority, they're happy. I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters, you need to take some notes, especially as brothers. We need to take notes about what happened in Afghanistan. Now, I ain't no big fan of no Arabs. I'm no fan of no Arabs. I'm for my black people always, first and forever. But we need to take lessons and how they was able to secure a seat of power within their own land. We can't unite without having some form of plan and do some type of takeover. We really going to change our views on violence because violence is how we're going to solve some of our problems. This is all the enemy understands is violence. How you think they brought us over here? Besides the fact that we had some of our people who betrayed us. It was a peculiar moment. No, not because hip hop doesn't matter. For decades, the gen has been fertile ground for immense devout history in the bars and championing a feminist visual of sexual positivity. First of all, Meg Thee Stallion, Lizzo, Cardi B, was it City Girls, whoever, and all the rest of these and Nicki Minaj and all them, there's nothing positive about what they say or do. They are so disrespectful to women, period. Black women in particular. Because let's get it straight. Cardi B is not a black woman, but she disrespects black women. Black women are her primary fans. You don't see no Latino women praising Cardi B because they know she ain't shit. Why you think she's over here in the black community? And we just accept her with open arms. There's nothing positive about that stupid bitch. And Lizzo need to shut her fat ass up while she up here crying. Talk about body positivity. You a walking hospital case. What grown ass woman with all that money won't even try to do nothing positive for herself, but want to sit up and promote body positivity along with homosexuality? Man, get the fuck out of here with that stupid shit. And this is no disrespect to our black women, because I know it's not all black women who act like this. In fact, I see some black women who talk about this and try to help our sisters who act like this. Got these little homosexual acting black men in hip hop today, wearing skinny jeans and shit. Ain't nothing positive, ain't nothing sexually positive about what you're promoting. Up and look like you having sex on stage. There ain't nothing positive about that. You pushing that narrative on the young black women coming up. That's nothing positive. Sex is it's the sacred exchange. It's a sacred energy exchange. It's called sex for a reason. Acronym: Sacred Energy Exchange. You got to listen to these white feminists pushing this bullshit, and now look at you. And then you have some feminists who sit up here and talk about how men, especially black men, how we attacking our own women. We not attacking our women. You attacking the minds of our women. Feminism has never helped our women, period. Our women are still in the same position. But they want to sit there and promote this hip hop recognition, hip hop month. We got culture vultures like Eminem and Miley Cyrus and MK, whoever the fuck, all these stupid ass rappers with these stupid ass names. None of them truly never lived that life. The creation of Juneteenth National Independence Day is the closest that our society has come to acknowledging the legacy of slavery as a fact of American life. This is reappraisal, she added, injects a historical modernity into our understanding of black communities, hardships, and understanding of all the more important in light of the ongoing conservative attacks on critical race theory and even the facts of history. First of all, there's no such thing as critical race theory. That's just some bullshit these white folks made up. And this is what they're going to teach our children in these institutions they call schools. That's why it's important for black parents to teach their children about our history. Do not let these white people teach you about black history. They're going to give you a warped European version of it. As far as I'm concerned, that Juneteenth is a fucking joke. And I don't care who gets offended. I don't know why black people, some of us think voting is going to help. More urgent legislation. Consider the kind of legislation that would make a fundamental difference for black Americans. No legislation in the history of this fucking country has ever helped black people. Our people fought and died for civil rights, and yet we are still being murdered in the streets. Black children are being kidnapped. Black women are being kidnapped. In March, the House of Representatives, led by Democrats, passed a bill designed to prevent police misconduct, an effort that came in the wake of the May 20th murder of George Floyd by former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. Yet the bill doesn't have a clear path in the 50-50 Senate. Were it to pass, it would need the support of at least 10 Republicans, who are mostly allergic to checking the police, an institution that at its core is oppressive to marginalized populations. First of all, the Democrats and Republicans work together to put down black people, and you got these dumbass black people on both sides pushing this narrative, thus keeping us more separated. Democrats and Republicans are no more than white people. That's it. They're the same motherfucking people. They drink, they go out to the same bars, they talk, and talk about how they're going to keep us more divided. Republicans make the laws, the Democrats enforce it. It's just that simple. Democrats is not your friends, black people. The Republicans for damn sure ain't your friends. These motherfuckers is not our friends, period. What part of that shit you don't understand? Voting has never helped us, and it never will. It's meant to keep us enslaved and distracted. What have you known in any country, any part of the world where voting has gotten progress, has gotten land? You know what's gotten us land? Take the takeover. That's what gotten us land. We need to start storming these motherfucking places of power. Period. They think some legislation is gonna stop these pigs from murdering black people. Get the fuck out of here, man. Stop it. Just stop it. Oh, the Voting Rights Front Democrats attempt to pass for the Pub People Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act, which will protect access to the franchises and squash schemes that disproportionately disadvantage voters of color, also has a hidden snag. Democrats don't have the votes necessary to break the filibuster and pass the two bills, and Republicans have been goosing voter suppression ever since Donald Trump defeated. Oh man, they just bringing up all kind of stupid shit that has nothing to do with this. Don't nobody give a fuck about no voting. If you had any common sense, you would not go out here and vote. But to each his own. And being that we was given the so-called right to vote, we only voted for white people. We're not voting for nobody that looks like us. That's why I'm saying I'm not real big in politics because I know how full of shit it really is. Okay, I guess this is the end of it. Like I said, politics don't mean shit to me personally. It's good to know so that way they can't fool you. But honestly, I don't really know much about it, but I'm not no fool. And it don't take a rocket scientist to understand that politics is just a bunch of bullshit to keep black people distracted. So I'm going to see if I can post this in the description box. Honestly, you can take it how you want it. I personally don't care at this point. I just know voting, as far as I'm concerned, has never helped black people. So any of my brothers and sisters who are really educated, I don't want to hear from no Republicans. I don't want to hear from no Democrats. I want to hear from black people who think like me, who do not need to vote, who do not really follow this system, but is well versed enough to educate me so that way I have a better understanding. I just know from my basic understanding that voting has not helped us. Politics has never helped us, period. Because we are still in the same position. We are still begging these white people. And that's what I'm tired of seeing. We need to break away from this system. So any of you care to educate me, please do. Because I love to learn. Thank you for stopping by.